Yeah, we've had a good week on the track. It's good to have a break. Gave those boys a little bit longer to be cherry ripe, which they are. And training's been full of energy this week, and hopefully we can take that into the game with us tomorrow night, because we'll need it. It's a stiff opposition at a big venue in front of a big crowd, so we're all looking forward to it.
You said big venue, like one of your past 5 games there's a lot made of the MCG hoodoo sort of years back, and well and truly over it now. What's so special about playing the MCG?
Yeah, I mean, we're still talking about the hoodoo though, even though we've got rid of it, No, we've been played well at that ground. We've had a lot more experience there in recent times. When that ground's full and the crowd's roaring, there's no better place to play footy, and our blokes really look forward to that opportunity.
Is it an advantage for you guys playing at the G rather than having to play in Geelong?
You'd have to say it would be, because that's Geelong's ground. They train there and they play there on a regular basis. So no doubt, if I was in their shoes, I would like to be playing that final there at that ground. But that's not the way it's all set up. Obviously, with the MCG being the finals venue, so we all know that. It's not like it always comes up for the Cats when they play in finals, but I'm sure they'd like to play down at their ground. But I think they equally like playing at the MCG, because that's ultimately where the grand finals played, and you've got to be able to win there.
You do have such a young side, but they seem really composed heading into the finals. Obviously, they had experience last year. What's the message been to them heading into the final series?
Oh well, we play all year to and play and train all year to play a brand that stands up in finals. So when we get to finals, there's nothing new we have to talk about. We just got to back ourselves in the way that we play, and even though we have got a lot of young players, a lot of them have had finals experience, so it's not like they're new to that. So it's just keeping the place calm and focused, and bringing our best effort when the siren goes tomorrow night to start the game.
What differences do you know this time last year that you can see these younger boys as well, especially with how they can deal with this pressure of finals?
Yeah, well, we've been playing finals. This is our, I think, 7th year in a row in finals, so we've had a lot of experience. I think probably played in more finals than any other team has in the last 7 years. So all those things stand you in good stead. Early days, we found it hard to win finals, or we'd get beaten by narrow margins, and gradually we've learned that finals are all about the moments and standing up at the right times. And so we just trust all that experience that we've had. We're grateful that we've had it, and hopefully, we can put it into good practice tomorrow night. But we must remember that the other team that's got a lot of experience playing in finals is the team that we play tomorrow night. So we're relatively even on that score.
I was going to say, you stood up against all the past 3. Last year, obviously 3 of them last year and twice this year. Like, what makes the match up? You guys sort of, have you figured them out, or are they going to be a different competition?
No, I don't think so. I think for the last 3 or 4 years, the games have been close. We've won the last 3, but if you go back and watch every single one of them, there were moments in those games where Geelong could have won those games just as easily. So we're aware of that. We know it's going to be a really tough contest tomorrow night. There's no other ways to look at it, and we'd be kidding ourselves if we think just because we've won the last few times that's just going to transfer on. We've got to go out and bring the right amount of effort and apply our game plan in the best possible manner to get the result that we're after.
Hayley Smith's speech last week was a pretty huge moment. You've been a big supporter in that match club bringing up. How important is it for players to start to spit out the struggles they've been through?
I think it brings reality to the game. A lot of people have a lot to say about AFL players and AFL coaches, and I hear various members of the media saying, players' salaries should be public knowledge and all that sort of stuff. Can you imagine the amount of pressure that puts on players, even more pressure than they've currently got? So, it's a highly public sport that we play. It's analysed to death. There are plenty of people out there on social media who say whatever they want to say, and that puts an enormous amount of pressure on players, I reckon. And I think we have to respect the fact that, sometimes the players don't cope, and it leads to mental health type of issues. And I just wish the world to be a little bit more cognizant of that fact in our game, and show a little bit more respect towards the participants in particular.
You've spoken a lot about how much it was just breaking the shackles when you guys started to win those games, because there was pressure on you guys when you work when you're on that mental health aspect?
Oh, yeah, that was a long time ago now though. I think our first 6 finals we won one and we lost 5. 2 or 3 of those games were by less than a goal. We were close, you know. And for me, it was always just like a natural progression. You play, you learn from your mistakes, and you make progress. And you know, the last 3 years we've been in 10 finals and we've won 8 of them. And one of them we lost by less than a goal. That was a grand final, and that was a massive learning experience. So that's what life's all about, you know. We often talk about the fact we never lose. We either win or we learn. So that's how we've gone about it. And fortunately, over the last few years, and it doesn't guarantee anything this year, we've become better at being able to handle final situations.
Yeah, they say that once you win one, you can lose a bit of a hunger. How hard is it for them to keep the hunger high?
It's something we talked about because it's a fact. You know, teams win premierships and then the next year they often don't make finals. We talked about that the minute we won the premiership last year about, you know, what can we do to make sure that we can give ourselves another chance next year. Really, it was just about staying humble and not getting carried away with the fact that we'd won a premiership. We should be confident because we know we can do it, but we need to be humble. And I think that's been the theme all year. Our players return to pre-season in great fitness. That's often a reflection of where their minds are at. So I was pretty confident from day one that we'd be able to put up a decent defence of our premiership last year. We've got to the starting grid now for finals. We'll see how we go, but if we fail this year, it won't be because we're not hungry enough to do it again. It'll just be that the other team's a bit better than us on the day.
How crucial is the week off? Like last year going through the elimination and stuff, like this year different, a few lingering injuries, like is that a real goal to get a week off the rest of the boys or what sort of?
Yeah, well the week off has helped us this year, there's no doubt about that. I'm not a fan of the week off, by the way. I've always said that I wasn't. I think it takes away the advantage that the top 4 team get for finishing top 4. Everyone gets a week off, you know. Normally, if you don't have a week off, the top 4 teams play, 2 of them win, they get another week off, and that's the way it goes. But you know, I'm more of a fan of having the week off before the grand final, so that blokes that might have little injuries can get themselves right to play. So I have a different view on it. The AFL have a different view than me. I'd rather see that disappear and be done in a different way, even though it did help us this year.
You think that might change next season, doing that?
I have no idea. I don't talk to the people in power about that. I've not been asked the question. It always comes up at this time of year. No, if I was asked, that's what I'd say. I'd rather have the week off before the grand final, do all the celebratory things like the Brownlow and all Australians in that week off. And if you want to have an All-Stars game, you can do that sort of stuff. And if somebody's unfortunate enough to get a concussion in a preliminary final weekend, that they've got enough time to recover to play in a grand final, all those sorts of things. For me, it makes sense. Have a week of celebrating football, then go into grand final week.
And you spoke about the confidence before. Is the confidence going into this finals a bit high because you won it last year?
No, I don't. Maybe in the back of the players' minds they know they can do it, but that's about all that is. It's just another year, and it's a different set of circumstances. Different teams. Some of the teams in the finals are different, so it just all starts again from our perspective. Other than that, there might just be a little bit of residual confidence that we know we can. In the past, we've been able to go the journey, but it's in the past.
And with Lockie and Jared back, is there a couple of tough calls?
Yeah, obviously.
Selection?
Yeah, we played well our last 2 games. So yeah, some hard calls to make. There's going to be a couple of unlucky blokes, but that's the way it goes. Yeah, obviously he would be, otherwise he's not playing. No, if you've been watching him train, you wouldn't. Actually, if you've been watching him train for the last 3 weeks, you go, why isn't this bloke playing? So he's playing this week. So no, I think his breaks actually helped him. He's looked really fresh at training. I thought he was a standout on the track on Tuesday, forgetting what day it is, and I'm sure he's looking forward to playing in the final.
How lucky is the timing as well to have them back for the run to the finals?
Yeah, it is. It is fortunate. We've had a fair share of injuries this year, and we've got a lot of blokes who are out of action that were part of our finals campaign last year. So to get those 2 experienced guys back at this stage is a real bonus.
So you guys can only walking in. I know some of the VFL boy travel. Is there any way of making things better?
No, he'll be one of the emergencies this week. Darcy Fort's been playing really well. Oscar played really well in the reserves last week. If anything happened to 40 between now and the start of the game, obviously Oscar can come in and replace him. It's a close call between the two of those guys. It's a good problem to have, but at the moment 40's playing well enough to keep his place in the side, so that's how we'll roll with that one.
It's been be a goldfish is the mantra this year. You've got anything coming in the finals?
Be a goldfish.
Yeah, forget the mistakes.
Yeah, that was last year. Yeah.
We've always been talking about it a bit this year.
Yeah, that's because they believe in it. So it's sort of just one of our little mantras. Just got to move on quickly. It's a game riddled with mistakes, AFL, and if you make one and you let it get you down, then you muck up the next two opportunities. So it's just all about staying in the moment. That cool. We've had a bit of fun with that for a couple of years in the Ted Lasso stuff, and it's remained with the group. But it's not a new thing this year.
Have you got any new ones for the boys this week?
Yeah, I have, but I'm not going to share them with the wider world. Yeah.
Chris, with Darcy Fort playing so many games in a row, how much better has that sort of made him having that run of games?
Yeah, it's probably good because it's a hard job being a ruckman. I had to play in the grand final last year with hardly having played any football for quite a few weeks. So he's well conditioned to that position now, and that's a benefit, I reckon, for him. And he's playing well. So good on him.
Thank you.
Thank you.